Gun Tales from Bizarro World. Just a quick anecdote about how in the late 1980s, a 460-year-old gun company died because of bad marketing. When the Sig Sauer P226 beat out the Beretta 92FS to be adopted as the M9 sidearm for the U.S. military, Beretta knew it was in trouble. While the Sig P226 also had the cool factor going for it from the Die Hard and Lethal Weapons movies, the Beretta 92FS was seen as too foreign to really make a dent in the American market. The marketing department at Beretta USA decided to throw a Hail Mary and name the 92FS after something that was synonymous in people's minds with the United States. The 92FS became the Beretta Camaro. Before officially announced, General Motors, one of the world's largest companies, warned Beretta not to use the name as they feared it would sully the reputation of the Chevrolet Camaro. Beretta figured they were calling GM's bluff when they released the pistol with the Camaro name, only GM wasn't bluffing. They filed a $250 million infringement lawsuit against Beretta. Beretta was in no position to fight since they had lost out on the military contract, and publicity from the lawsuit killed what civilian sales they had. The settlement out of court all but killed Beretta. GM also took a beating in the public eye as one of the world's largest companies killing one of the world's oldest companies looked like a bad case of bullying. Too bad they couldn't settle their differences with a donation to each other's charity, and in exchange with Beretta receiving a car and GM a couple guns.
The closest I come to being a fanboy of any gun company is Beretta. Beretta is one of the oldest companies in the world, but it still comes out with innovative and sometimes futuristic-looking weapons. Sometimes these futuristic designs will be their style for generations, such as the case of most of Beretta's pistols for the last two-thirds of the 20th century, taking a nod from their 1934 pistol. After the Second World War, Beretta would modify Garands to take detachable box magazines and fire the 7.62 by 51 round and call it the BM59. How this differs from the M14 would be a discussion for a later date, as I have yet to take the plunge and buy one from Sweaty Ben to compare it to my M1A. The Italian military replaced the BM59 with the 5.56 by 45 AR-70 and later 70-90, which looks like a drunken trieste between the AR and FAL platforms. There is a semi-auto version of this, which I would love to have one day, but for now I can't find any of them for sale anywhere. In 2008, the ARX-160 assault rifle, not to be confused with the .22 long rifle version here, was introduced as part of the Italian Armed Forces Future Soldier program. My rifle is the ARX-100, which is a commercial semi-auto version produced by Beretta USA. The lower and upper receivers are mostly polymer and features a short stroke piston system. It is chambered in 5.56 using regular AR magazines, although there are 7.62 by 39 versions of the ARX-160 assault rifles that use AK mags. The rifle is totally ambidextrous, as the charging handle can be moved to either side, forcing the brass to eject out the other side, as well as ambidextrous mag releases and safeties. It has an easily removed chrome-lined barrel for a quick change-out. This rifle comes with a side-folding telescoping stock. The plan is to replace the AR-70-90s with the ARX-160 rifle in the Italian military. With the exception of many police and special forces around the world, Argentina is the only other country to adopt the ARX-160. The United States Army flirted with replacing the M4 a few years ago, and the ARX-160 has made the final five, but the contest was canceled before a winner was chosen. Beretta has also made the ARX-200, which fires the 7.62 by 51 for designated marksman purposes. I would really love to see a civilian version of this rifle on the market at some point in the future. A huge hint there, Beretta USA. As I said, my rifle is the ARX-100, which is the semi-auto version of the ARX-160. There's also an ARX-160 sold here that is semi-auto and .22 long rifle, which can lead to some confusion when talking about the rifles. I've wanted this rifle for a few years now, especially after seeing it on many of the bigger gun channels, but I did not believe that it was worth what they were asking for at the time. For the longest time, they would go for $1,700, and that kind of money is better spent on a Daniel Defense or other upper-end AR. In the fall of 2016, I started noticing prices dropping, and this was thanks mainly to alerts by Mr. Guns and Gear. Now they are priced in the area of a mid-range AR at $800 to $900. If so inclined, one could even buy one for $799 on Black Friday last year, although it's worth the extra $60 to $70 to me to not deal with the hassle and pick one up the next week. The breakdown of the rifle isn't as simple as that of an AR-15, but not so difficult that one couldn't quickly do it well practiced. As I said earlier, the barrel is easily removable, so you can replace it if you feel the need to. Everything does seem pretty open, which could be a problem with dirt and mud getting in, but I also wonder if that'd make it easier to get it out. As for magazines, the ARX works best with GI or early generation Magpul magazines. I do not have any of the later generation mags, but I've heard that there are some problems with these, so stock up on GI mags if you buy one of these. I fired 9 to 10 magazines through this at close range and at 100 yards, and it performed as a well-oiled AR would. I might give it an updated video sometime in the future, as I'd love to see how it handles after a few thousand rounds. I wouldn't mind taking it to a rifle class to see if it would survive that. So far I love the rifle and can't wait to try it out with an optic. If you haven't done so already, check out the giveaways for CMAX, including mine, and donate to the link below. As donations to this link go directly to CMAX, it doesn't go through any of us doing the giveaway. There will be links in the description. If you like what you see, please comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my Facebook, Twitter, and who I support on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.